Most professionals who find themselves quietly set aside during an organizational shift did not stop caring. They did not show up late, and they did not shirk their duties. Their failure was far more subtle. They mistook 10 years of repeated routine for 10 years of actual growth. They assumed that showing up faithfully every morning created an invisible credit balance that someone would eventually cash out. But the surrounding world operates on a very different set of rules. It does not reward sweat equity or old allegiance. It responds only to current capability. If your skills have stood still while the world moved forward, added effort only carries you faster in the wrong direction. Today, we examine how to audit your real contribution before passive drift forces an unwelcome surprise. There is a fundamental misunderstanding about how economic compensation actually works. Many diligent people believe that income is a reward for endurance. They think, I have given 5 years to this department, so my compensation ought to reflect my loyalty. Or, I worked 10 hours today instead of 8, so my standing should naturally increase. That feeling is completely understandable, but it collides directly with economic reality. There is a line worth keeping close. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to an hour. Everyone receives the exact same 24 hours every single day. What gets rewarded is the specific problem-solving capability you bring into those hours. Consider 2 professionals working side by side in the exact same office. One spends 8 hours maintaining a manual ledger system that has remained unchanged for a decade. The other spends 8 hours implementing an automated workflow that allows the entire department to process orders twice as fast. Both leave the building tired at 5 o'clock. Both sacrificed their day, gave their best attention, and used up their energy. Yet their actual contribution to the organization is vastly different. The first person delivered presence, the second person delivered progress. This reveals a counterintuitive turn that catches many hard-working adults off guard. Pouring double effort into a routine that has ceased to grow actually hastens your career stagnation. When you spend every ounce of your energy maintaining an obsolete daily routine, you leave 0 time and 0 mental bandwidth to acquire the modern skills your environment now demands. You become like a boat captain rowing with all his might against a shifting river channel while staring at an obsolete river map. You feel exhausted, so you assume you must be advancing. In truth, you are simply wearing yourself out while the surrounding current carries the market far ahead of you. Loyalty is a noble human trait in personal relationships. But when you use it as a substitute for expanding your personal capacity, it turns into a quiet trap. Faithfulness to a company without faithful development of your own mind creates an illusion of permanent safety. You tell yourself that because you were needed yesterday, you will automatically be needed tomorrow. Meanwhile, quietly and without drama, the needs of the workplace evolve past your current skill set. To build true security, you must shift your perspective entirely. Stop measuring your worth by how much time you have surrendered, and start measuring it by the actual difficulty you are capable of resolving today. When you work harder on expanding your personal capacity than you do on completing routine daily tasks, your relationship with work transforms. You stop trading hours for dollars, and you start accumulating personal value that no corporate shift can take away from you. Imagine 2 colleagues. Let us call them Arthur and David. 15 years ago, both accepted positions as senior project managers at a regional logistics firm. They walked into the same office, earned identical salaries, and shared a deep commitment to the business. In their early years, both spent long days mastering the company's manual dispatch logs and paper filing systems. They were dependable, accurate, and took genuine pride in their standing within the team. As years passed, a quiet divergence occurred in how each man approached his work. Arthur found a comfortable rhythm. He perfected his checklist, kept paper ledgers immaculately organized, and relied on manual spreadsheets. When new digital software was introduced to automate inventory tracking, Arthur resisted. He argued that the old paper methods had served the enterprise reliably for a decade. He took pride in being the veteran who knew where every physical file was archived, working 10-hour days to double-check entries by hand. Believing his physical presence made his position completely secure. David chose a different path. After his 3rd year, he recognized that performing the exact same manual task faster did not expand his capability. When the automated tracking software arrived, David volunteered to test it during late evenings. He accepted the awkward frustration of learning complex digital tools while his peers left on time. David systematically automated his routine coordination duties, freeing up hours to analyze why regional shipments were missing deadlines and building broader solutions for the whole network. This division continued until senior leadership announced a major restructuring to consolidate regional operations. Arthur felt entirely confident. He possessed 15 years of faithful service, a spotless attendance record, and long work weeks. David held the same title on paper and worked standard hours. But when the official roster was released, Arthur learned his manual role was eliminated. David was selected to head the newly integrated systems department. Arthur had confused 15 years of faithful tenure with 15 years of expanding capability. In truth, he had lived 1 year of routine 15 times. His loyalty provided zero shelter against an environment that no longer required manual tracking. Sitting at his desk late that Friday afternoon, looking at the notice, recognition took hold. He saw clearly that his extra hours had merely protected his comfort, while David's uncomfortable evening studies had created true capability. Arthur stood at a pivotal crossroads. He could leave bitter, blaming leadership for discarding his loyalty, or pay the emotional cost, setting aside his veteran pride, acknowledging his methods were obsolete, and rebuilding his skills from scratch. He chose the harder road, packing his belongings and enrolling in an intensive modern tools course before driving home. As Arthur sat in his car, looking up at the quiet office windows, he understood that career security is never granted by an employer. It is built through continuous adaptation. A brief space of music and quiet will remain at the end of our conversation today, tied to this moment of recognition, so you can reflect on Arthur's realization and audit your own routine. To understand how this subtle trap takes hold in everyday adult life, we must examine the specific daily mechanisms that pull diligent, well-meaning professionals into economic stagnation. The first mechanism is the illusion of activity. In daily behavior, it looks like filling your calendar with familiar low-friction tasks, answering routine emails instantly, reorganizing shared drives, or sitting through repetitive status meetings that produce no decisive outcome. You feel busy, so you assume you are productive. The accumulated cost of this habit is devastating over time. Across 3 or 5 years, your entire workday becomes consumed by low-tier maintenance labor that requires zero fresh thinking. The practical replacement is to conduct a strict audit of your weekly calendar. Identify every routine task that can be streamlined or consolidated, and intentionally protect 2 hours every week to master a digital tool or system you currently do not understand. The second mechanism is defensive specialization. This occurs when a professional intentionally protects an outdated or overly complex procedure simply because they are the only person in the office who knows how to execute it. In daily practice, you keep the process manual and unwritten, so that leadership remains dependent on your presence. The accumulated cost is that you isolate yourself from modern methods while building a false sense of security. When the organization eventually automates that manual procedure, your entire functional purpose disappears overnight. The practical replacement is to actively document and delegate your routine duties. By making your current job easy for someone else to step into, you deliberately force yourself to move upward into solving more complex, high-tier operational challenges. The third mechanism is the reliance on historical equity. Philosophically, this is the belief that past contributions shield you from present operational demands. In real terms, it shows up when you expect higher pay or job protection simply because you have walked through the same front door for 10 years. The accumulated cost is a subtle, lingering resentment toward younger or newer colleagues who advance faster simply because they arrive with modern, relevant capabilities. The practical replacement is to evaluate your standing strictly by your current problem-solving capacity. Ask yourself this direct question. If I were applying for my own position today as an outside candidate, would my current skill set make me the obvious choice? The fourth mechanism is skill atrophy through comfort. This happens when past mastery breeds present mental passivity. In practical terms, it manifests as declining to learn new software updates, ignoring shifting methods in your field, or turning down assignments that require you to step out of your comfort zone. The accumulated cost is that your very capacity to learn degrades over time, making future economic transitions feel terrifying rather than natural. The practical replacement is to adopt a permanent habit of weekly skill creation, reserving dedicated time every single week to study an emerging tool or strategy within your industry. Now, let us address the primary objection that almost always arises at this point. A thoughtful worker might ask, is it not deeply unfair for an enterprise to overlook years of faithful service? Shouldn't long-standing loyalty earn a guarantee of protection without requiring continuous retraining? That question comes from an understandable human place. We naturally desire stability, and we want our devotion to be honored. But we must clearly distinguish between personal loyalty and economic reality. A business operates within an active environment that does not respond to sentimentality. If competing organizations adopt faster, more effective methods to serve their clients, an enterprise must adapt its operations or face total collapse. Expecting high compensation for obsolete skills is like asking a merchant to pay top price for outdated inventory simply because the manufacturer worked hard to produce it. The marketplace rewards current usefulness, not historical exertion. Protecting your long-term security requires ensuring that the value you deliver today matches the world you live in today. Up to this point, we have examined workplace trends, economic mechanisms, and the quiet traps that catch well-meaning professionals off guard. Now let us step away from broad observations and speak directly to your own situation. Look honestly at your current calendar. Strip away your official job title, the impressive number of years listed on your resume, and whatever quiet pride you take in past accomplishments. Consider your actual daily labor with complete, unvarnished objectivity. If your professional standing were completely reset tomorrow and evaluated strictly on the new capabilities you acquired over the last 12 months, where would you stand? For many hardworking adults, asking that question creates an immediate, uncomfortable tightness in the chest. That internal discomfort is not an enemy to be avoided. It is a vital warning signal letting you know that you have been relying on simple momentum rather than active development. You may be logging 10-hour days and returning home exhausted, but if those hours are spent executing routines you mastered years ago, double effort will not protect your long-term security. Here is the practical audit I invite you to run this evening. Take a plain sheet of paper and divide it into two distinct columns. In the left column, list every primary task that consumed your energy over the past 5 working days. In the right column, right next to each entry, write down the specific year you first learned how to perform that task. If most of your weekly schedule is filled with routines you already understood years ago, treat that pattern as a warning. You may be drawing down yesterday's experience while your usefulness in a changing workplace quietly erodes. This brings you to a sharp, unavoidable fork in the road. You can choose to remain passive, relying on past faithfulness and hoping your organization never changes its operational methods. You can keep telling yourself that long hours and good intentions ought to be enough. Or you can make a firm decision today to assume total responsibility for your economic value. You can decide that starting this week, you will protect deliberate, non-negotiable hours to master a modern skill that expands your problem-solving capacity far beyond where it stands today. In a few moments, our spoken time together will draw to a close, and a quiet space of reflection will follow. You do not need to pause right now or step away from what you are doing. Simply carry this question with you into that coming quiet. What single daily routine am I holding on to purely out of comfort, even though it no longer creates real value for my future? The river channel has shifted, and clinging tightly to an obsolete river map will never keep your vessel moving forward. Expecting the workplace to alter its current simply to accommodate comfortable longevity is a quiet form of self-deception. Your standing in any economic environment is entirely your own handiwork, constructed out of the practical problem-solving capacity you decide to cultivate. Growth always requires setting aside the effortless pride of yesterday's mastery to embrace the temporary awkwardness of learning modern tools. But that willingness to feel like a beginner again is the precise price of enduring career security. To translate this understanding into immediate progress, you must take one concrete step within the next 24 hours. Do not wait for your annual review or a convenient lull in your workload. Open your calendar tonight and claim 2 uninterrupted hours over the coming 7 days. Treat those 2 hours as a non-negotiable appointment with your future self. Dedicate that time exclusively to studying one high-tier capability, digital platform, or automated system that directly addresses a major bottleneck in your daily work. To make this commitment binding, complete a simple physical exercise right now. Take a paper index card or a small slip of notepaper from your desk. On the front side, write down 3 low-value routine tasks that currently consume your energy each week. Draw a clean line straight through 2 of them, signaling your firm decision to automate, consolidate, or delegate those routines. On the back of the card, write down the single modern skill you will study during your 2 scheduled hours this week, along with the exact day and time you will do it. Keep that card directly beside your workspace as a tangible proof of your shift from passive tenure to active growth. Do not rush away the moment my voice ends. The brief space of music and quiet that follows right now is provided specifically so you can reach for your pen, write down those items on your card, and anchor this decision before daily routine reclaims your attention. Allow these quiet moments to work for you as you reflect on your real direction. When you look back over the past 12 months, did you truly build a new year of continuous growth, or did you simply replay your old routine one more time?